Today we are going to review some of our geometry vocabulary so that we make sure we are prepared to talk about lines, segments, points, and so on. So a point has no dimension. It is a dot, and that's all that we see. So in order to name it, we use one capital letter, and so you can either call it point A, or you can put a dot and then write A, and that also means point A. And then it just looks like what we see here, where we just have point A and point B. When we have a plane, this has two dimensions. So it's represented by a shape that looks like a floor, but extends without end. So if we're drawing a plane, we will draw this sort of parallelogram shape, and then you can put points and things on the plane. So you have a few options for how to name it. You can name it using 3 points that are in the plane, or if you have a lowercase letter, that means that that's the name of the plane. So you can like use the M and say plane M, or you can use those 3 points, say ABC. You could have also called this plane CBA, CAB, BCA, any of those. You can arrange the letters in any order you would like. And if you had more than 3 letters, you still only use 3. You just pick whichever 3 you would like, as long as they're capital points. When we have a line, we use 2 capital letters. We can call it line AB. We can call it line M. That's using something that is not a point, but just like a plane had a lowercase letter to name the plane, a line can have a lowercase letter to name the line. And then we pick the furthest 2 points. So when we name it using either the line or using the line on top, so like I would use W and Y. So this would be line WY. A segment, and this is what we will most of the time see in geometry, uses 2 capital letters. You use the 2 endpoints. So segment AB, order doesn't matter, so you could have also written this segment BA. If we have a ray, this is an endpoint and an arrowhead. It looks like a line and a segment together. You use 2 capital letters. You have to name it with the endpoint first. This is where people tend to get tripped up with these problems, but you have to name rays with the endpoint first. So I can call this ray AB. I cannot call this ray BA. If this was ray BA, it would look like this. You have to do the endpoint first. The endpoint is the part without the arrow. If I have an angle, I have a set of points consisting of 2 different rays that have the same endpoint. So here's one of my rays in blue. Here's another one of my rays in green. Together, those 2 rays make an angle. There are a whole bunch of ways that we can name angles. We can use 3 letters. If it is specific enough in your picture that it's very clear which one is if you use 1 letter, if it's clear what that 1 letter is, which angle it's for, then you can use it. But if I had a picture like this, I cannot say that this blue angle is angle Z, because if I said it was angle Z, yeah, it might be that one, but it could be this one. It could be this one. It could be this one. You have too many options. But in this picture that we have for how it looks, that's where we see that there's only one option for what could be angle B, and that's why we can use 1 letter. The other thing to notice is that you have to put the vertex, which is the angle that is, or the point that is in the middle where the rays connect, that has to be in the middle. So if you're using 3 letters, you have to put the vertex in the middle. So let's review real quick. A point, I have how to name it, how to draw it. Same thing for our planes, lines, segments, rays, and angles. Please make a note that for your angles, you must have the vertex in the middle. After that, it doesn't matter if you say ABC or CBA, but you must have that vertex in the middle in order to have your angle named correctly. Two more vocab words that we'll talk about occasionally that are just good to know. One of them is coplanar. That means all the points are on the plane. So H, that's way up here in the sky. That's why it's not coplanar. But the other points are on the plane, D, G, E, and F. And so that's why those points are coplanar. Just like the word, we talked about a plane, we also talked about a line. So collinear, same thing. A, F, and B are all on the line. That makes them collinear. And G and H are not on the line, which is what makes them not collinear. And that's a quick review of our geometry vocab.